All right, everybody. Welcome to welcome. Well, welcome to the show, I suppose. We are still in the lovely Tetons, and boy, oh boy, have I learned a lot about Wyoming recently. So we are going to be making a cocktail that I feel like sort of exemplifies what is all good? Good. Exemplifies what I have been up to this week. I've been on many bike rides, hikes. I have been searching for bears. I saw a moose. I saw another moose. I saw like 800 cows. Listen, it has been, for a city boy, this has been very instrumental to me, or really changing it. I also am now a full-on bolo wearer. So just, if you guys see me in the streets and I'm not wearing a bolo, it's probably not me. This is me now. I now wear bolo ties. I am a real cowboy. So we are going to be using an ingredient that I've never used before. I've never ever had the pleasure of being able to pick up any type of huckleberry. Huckleberry. Completely thought that was a made-up thing. So it turns out it's not. I have some facts about it. We're going to learn about huckleberries. We were able to get back to Wyoming Whiskey. They were able to refill my tiny bottle so that we can travel with this one and not have to worry about spilling it. So we're going to be using some Wyoming Whiskey. Grand Marnier. Nothing to do with Wyoming, but an important ingredient. We're going to be making a cocktail that I am calling the Wyoming Sidecar, although there had to be a better name. This is the Cowboy State. From what I understand, what happens when you have okay, so just imagine this. Don Quixote is driving or riding his little horse, kind of like a cowboy, and he has Pancho Villa next to him. He's driving a little pony next to him. What would you call that? Whatever we call that, it's a Wyoming, whatever we call that. Whatever your little side partner is, your Pancho Villa to the cowboy of Don Quixote, that's what we call it. So right now, we're sticking with Wyoming Sidecar, but in the future, it will have a different name. If Huckleberry's any good. I've never tried it. That's not true. I had some ice cream. Let me say hello to the people. First of all, let me say hello to Susan Lang. She is here. I can see her walking through. She has put her glasses on, so she is ready to watch the show. Let me say hello to Moose. Moose. Seen a lot of mooses recently, Moose. So be prepared for a big photo dump on my Instagram here coming soon with a bunch of moose pictures. Boy, did I see some moose. I saw a mama moose and I saw a baby moose. And I'm almost positive I saw a dad moose, but I wasn't close enough to check, Pretty sure it was a big moose. Let me say good evening, Shawnee Panda Baker. Good to see you, Shawnee Panda Baker. Shawnee, let me know if you have ever worked with Huckleberry. Kind of interesting thing. Kyle Tender still watching the house. He has a lot of exclamation points, making me think that there is definitely a party going on either at the house or at the bar. He's jumping between the two. Hopefully, it will still be standing, and he is not starting another California wildfire. Tiki Tom is here. Good to see you, Tiki Tom. Always a pleasure. As they say, never short. Tiki Tom finally back in his kitchen. So for those of you that have been watching the Tiki Tom drama, the Tiki Tom redoing the kitchen drama, he is back. Speaking of back, DC Debbie Clark, winner of the 2023 Cush Derby, is back. I don't think this has ever happened before, DC Debbie Clark. I have now been to Idaho. Very small part of it, just driving through. But okay, that's fine. How many people can say they've been to Idaho? I can now say that I've at least stopped off and had a Subway sandwich in Idaho. So lovely state. A really good choice there, DC Debbie Clark, winner of the 2023 Cush Derby. Opie the dog is here. Well, yes, very excited about Huckleberry facts. I have a couple. I have like two. But I didn't even know I thought a Huckleberry was completely made up. I thought it was like a schnozberry. It tastes like schnozberries. Yep, DCW Clark picks huckleberries out here as well. Love that. Captain Jack and Coke is ready to go. Good to see you, Captain. Bootopia, a good evening to you all. We are all here, I think, and ready to go. So, okay. when we're making a cocktail, when we're like, okay, we don't have our entire bar traveling with us, we got to start to think about, we got to start to think what we've learned on the show, right? What are the basics of a cocktail? Okay, so I knew, because of all of the hubbub, the talk of town, everywhere you go in a place called Jackson, Wyoming, and I feel like I'm doing a good job there. Jackson Hole is the entire area, but Jackson is the town. So we went into Jackson, not Jackson Hole. I'm in Jackson Hole. We went into Jackson, and everybody couldn't stop talking about Huckleberry. You got to hear about the Huckleberry, they would say. So random strangers on the street would pull out a gun and say, you got to hear about Huckleberry. And they'd probably say it in an old miner voice, hey, you got to hear about Huckleberry, 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 Huckleberry. Okay, great. I've never had Huckleberry. Never. You would think, got to protect myself against the guns. You would think I, as a bartender, who has been really interested in finding fun flavors, finding new things to add to drinks, you would think that maybe Huckleberry would have come across the bar at me at one point. No, I've never, ever had a Huckleberry. Okay. Why? There's a whole mystery. Whole mystery. I feel like I've lost the earlier plot. We'll get back to how we create drinks, but I feel like Huckleberry was an interesting little thing. Did you know the Huckleberry is basically the great white shark of berries? Why do I say that? Is it deadly? No. Does it have a white underbelly? No. Does Steven Spielberg make a movie about it? Not yet. Could be. Could be soon. It's because Huckleberry refuses to be cultivated. It is only a wild berry. You can only go out into the wild and pick huckleberries. Great. Love that for them. It means that, of course, the only huckleberries you can get, you have to go deep into the woods, like a Sondheim musical. You got to go into that woods, maybe never to come back again, and pick those huckleberries. Here is an interesting thing, though. It's not just huckleberries in the woods. It's also bears. And what do bears like? Bears love huckleberries. All right, now we got competition. We've thrown our pack on. We have a bindle and a broomstick. We've run away from home into the woods, and now we're searching out huckleberries. Well, we're not the only ones, all right? Now a bear is searching for us. We're stealing that bear's huckleberries. Think about huckleberries, like in Jurassic Park 2, when the young, handsome scientist steals the raptor egg, and only once the raptor egg is returned and the raptor is blown into, will the raptors forgive. It was a stupid movie. I love those movies. It was a stupid movie. Only then will the raptors forgive these people. Okay, well, now we don't know what the human treaty with bears on huckleberries is. So now we're out in the woods, completely out in the elements, stealing huckleberries from these poor bears. The recipe for disaster. So to get a huckleberry is not simple. If you go into Jackson, you would absolutely believe that huckleberries literally like grow in people's beards. They're so frequent, but they aren't. They're only in places like Jackson, like Oregon, Idaho. I just found out because, of course, DCW Clark used to pick huckleberries. Somewhere she said that. I didn't know. Anyway, so I was able to. I was unable. Let me just say, I was unable to pick a wild huckleberry. I don't trust berries in the woods. I just don't trust them. I feel like at any point, I'm not smart enough. I don't have enough knowledge about knowing what berry is going to kill me and what berry is a huckleberry. Huckleberries apparently won't kill you. But I was able to procure from one of the local establishments some huckleberry syrup. Now, at first I thought, oh gosh, this is going to be like maple syrup. It's not going to go well in a drink. Not true. Not true. This is just huckleberry simple syrup, more or less. They say the ingredients. I'll give you the ingredients. Huckleberries, sugar, lemon juice, and pectin. pectin all the way through here. Hopefully, pectin isn't going to do anything crazy to us. Probably just going to give us a little flow, a little slide. So I have now procured some huckleberries. All right. So because I have been moseying, got pretty good at moseying over the past few days. I've been moseying through Jackson, learning all about huckleberries. I figured it's time to make a huckleberry cocktail. Now, I have seen multiple in Jackson. I've seen multiple huckleberry margaritas. That's great. Love a huckleberry margarita. I've had a couple of them. They're pretty good. I'm not going to recreate that. Instead, we are going to take the margarita formula, which I already know is very welcoming to huckleberries, and we are going to make, within that daisy format, we're going to make an even older cocktail than the margarita. We're going to be making a sidecar. So that's what we're doing. If you've never had a sidecar, normally sidecars have brandy in them, although a lot of great sidecars will have some whiskey in them. Listen, there's a lot going on here. There's a lot going on here. A few people have shown up. So let me say hello to those people that have shown up. Paul Bellardo. The plural of moose is moose. The plural of moose is moose. I've seen multiple moose. Did you guest bartend at the $1 Million Cowboy Bar? No, I was, it turns out they don't love guest bartenders here. I've asked, trust me, I've tried to jump behind a couple of those bars, got up on one of those horse saddle stools, let everybody know if they want an old fashioned, I will light it on fire for them. Did not care about this LA boy. Didn't do my job as a father, should have had you huckleberries, should have had oh, I see. Should have had huckleberries and crawdads. I went to Oregon's in the summer, visit my grandma. I've had crawdads, pretty good. Only grown in wild. That's why no one tells where they pick the berries. Yes, I could not pry from the lips, DC Debbie Clark, winner of the 2023 Cush Derby. I could not pry from the lips anybody that has information on huckleberries other than the huckleberry ice cream at Moo's is pretty darn good. As a kid, I loved the cartoon Huckleberry House, a blue dog with an accent, maybe hound. Maybe not, maybe it's house. Mushrooms in the woods are good. Can't see that being a thing. Let's see, Forlorn Hope, cheers to you, pal. And oh yes, and please remember to muddle that like. If you see a like button, muddle it. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's get into it. We're going to be making a bit of a different version. There's already lemon juice in the huckleberry syrup, so I figured why not? We'll split our citrus base. So we're going to go lime here today. So I got my lime. We're going to cut our lime the correct way, a little bit off center, right there. We're going to find the little bit in here. Boy, looks like a pretty juicy little lime. We're going to cut straight through here. We're going to cut all of this out. There we go. And now we have enough lime. Now for a traditional version of this, of the sidecar, we would need about 3/4 of an ounce of lime. However, we're going to be sweetening this with catch that? 2 different sweeteners, because we're going to be putting in some Grand Marnier. We're also going to be putting in, obviously, huckleberry syrup. So let's get that going. We're going to go ahead and put in 1 full ounce of lime juice. Now, I'm going to take a guess and say this lime seems juicy enough to give us 1 full ounce. So we're just going to squeeze this out. Hand squeeze like Constante Ribialagua Vert, the king of the cocktail, the king of the daiquiri. We're going to drop this in. We want all those outside juices. If I have taught you anything, or if you've taken anything from the show, you know that we squeeze and we drop. Squeeze and drop. Old bartender trick. Squeeze and drop. We're going to take this guy. We're just going to do this. Now, I have learned from many park rangers and just about every sign I could see, I threw something over the balcony the other day. Shouldn't have done that. Really feeling bad about this. We're going to take this. We're going to dispose of this properly. Bears that find out that they like limes will eventually find out that they like margaritas. There's something in Jackson and there's something in Yellowstone called problem bears. That's when bears become too familiar with humans. And what's more human than having too many margaritas. Now you got a drunk bear that's trying to, like, you know, talk to everybody, talking too loud. This bear's becoming a problem. We don't have a bouncer big enough to kick this bear out of the bar. Now we got a bear in the bar. Well, we're going to live with a bear in the bar. So in order to be a responsible human, I'm going to just take this, put it right there, not over my shoulder where the bears can get it, and learn all about the secrets of the margarita. All right, this is a daisy, right? This is a daisy cocktail. This is a sidecar cocktail. We are going to grab some Grand Marnier. Now, why Grand Marnier? Because that, my friends, is what they were selling. They were selling Grand Marnier, so we had Grand Marnier. If we could have gotten some Cointreau, we would have. If we could have gotten Fernet, you better believe me, we probably would have some Fernet. For a traditional sidecar, your best bet is to match equal parts of the sweet and the sour. So we're looking for 3/4 of an ounce of lime, 3/4 of an ounce of lemon for a traditional, and 3/4 of an ounce of Grand Marnier for this. But no, don't do that because we're going to be doing two different sweeteners. We're going to go ahead and put in a little more than half an ounce of some orange liqueur. Again, Grand Marnier, it travels well, cute little bottle, adorable. Delicious, turns out. Really, really good. So, again, we're building on tradition. Uh-oh. Oh, good. Okay, good. I'm getting people leaving there's a live viewing area in this. Let's find our sweetener. This is huckleberry syrup. From the Pacific Northwest, it is a prized berry. People are clearly hoarding their huckleberries. They're not telling anybody where they go. We're going to go ahead and put in the same amount of huckleberry syrup that we just put in for the Grand Marnier. Now be careful with huckleberries. I found this out just moments ago, just right now. It stains. If you are able to get your hands on some huckleberry, great. If not, I have a theory on this particular huckleberry syrup. I don't believe that they are making simple syrups. Now, in the coming summer, since I'm doing a class on the 25 things that I can bring you, the 25 bartending secrets, mysteries, I believe I call them, we're going to start talking pretty in depth about the difference between simple syrup and syrup. This is syrup. How do you make a syrup? You are not adding the water into this at all. What you are going to be doing is putting sugar and pulling out all of that. It's called, don't worry about it. It's called something. It's got a really funny name. We're going to go ahead and pour this guy in. That's about half an ounce. I'm going to think of it in a second. I'm just going to yell it at you guys. I'm just going to check real quick. Have I? No, I haven't. Oh. Did my dad leave and then everybody else left? My dad, see ya. Happy Father's Day. Call you tomorrow. Okay. Jen, is the chat working? I feel like people just stopped talking. Maybe it's because you're so enthralled in what I'm saying. Highly doubtful. Okay. We have everything in here to make an amazing. It is working. Yeah, just nobody's chatting. Okay. We have in here everything to make an amazing mocktail. Great. Love a mocktail. But we are going to be going. Oh, good. DZ Debbie Clark is enthralled with my bear talk. Thank you, Shawnee. All right, good. I get nervous. Think the whole thing's broken when nobody's talking. Wyoming Whiskey, coming from Kirby, Wyoming. I found out that everything they do at Wyoming Whiskey, they do on property. It's like a single. It's like a all in-house, except for, get this, they don't have their own cooper. They don't have their own cooper. That's okay. Not every place needs a cooper. What the heck's a cooper? A cooper is somebody that makes barrels. A lot of like the Macallan, I know, has their own cooper. I believe Fiddick has their own cooper. A lot of scotches have on site just a barrel dude, just a dude that makes the barrels. They get the right char on there. They make those barrels specifically for whatever whiskeys they're doing. In a lot of the scotches, they will actually bring in sherry, age some sherry in there, and then basically just get rid of that sherry because they only want the outside. We don't have to get into scotch. Anyway, the only thing they don't have is cooperage. They do use new char white oak barrels. They're using char number 4. That was very important to them. They wanted me to know that it's char number 4. But they get all their own water, a lot of limestone going through them thar hills. Probably a couple huckleberries make their way in, I would assume. We're going to take some Wyoming whiskey. This, again, the lovely Wyoming whiskey. That is the State Park edition. And we're going to go ahead and put in 2 full ounces right there. And that is a sidecar. One of the reasons that I've been so interested in going on so many hikes. I'm not a outdoor boy. I'm an indoor cat for sure. Going on so many hikes is I was actually looking for huckleberries. Turns out, and I think I learned this on like my 3rd hike when I was just exhausted. Probably not a lot of huckleberries on the path, and I, a coward, am not interested in going off path looking for huckleberries. I have a credo that I live by, and that is, do not die in a way that makes somebody say, huh, don't do it. My whole life, have been afraid of alligators, terrified of alligators. If eventually I get eaten while being on one of those swamp trollers, people will say, huh, I didn't like alligators. What was he doing out there? Right. Okay. I was born in a city. I lived in cities. I've really only ever lived in cities. If I get eaten by a bear, it's going to be alarming to people. They're going to have questions. They're going to look into things. I can't do that. So I'm staying on the path. Turns out, can't find huckleberries on the path. There's a metaphor in there somewhere. I don't know what it is yet, but I will eventually find it. They don't grow huckleberries on the path. We can make a t-shirt of that. Go ahead and put in some ice in this guy. Lots and lots of ice. Just manhandle it. I've learned a lot about manhandling out here. I do believe ice is okay to throw behind my shoulder. If bears start only liking frozen margaritas, well, then I've really messed up. But I do think that I can just throw some ice back there. There we go. If they are only interested in ice, the bears are, well, then at least I have something to talk to bears about. Here we go. Shaky. I'm a little worried. If the bears have grown a taste for margaritas, do you think this is calling them to me? I don't know. Thank you, Utopia, for the test. I feel like everybody just walked away. Either way. All right, let's pour this drink. I'm going to pour it up here. I do think that the color is going to be worthwhile to see. There we go. Look at that beautiful huckleberry flowing through the glass. We have a Wyoming whiskey huckleberry sidecar. If the bears smell it, you're calling. Oh, oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah, I'm high enough the bears can't get me. I have learned, listen, I ask a lot of questions. Anywhere I go, I like to ask a lot of, one of the great pleasures in my life is when somebody says, huh, nobody's ever asked that before. I love that. When I can find a question that nobody's ever asked before, whether because it's too stupid or because nobody's thinking about that, I love it. So I ask a lot of questions. Anyway, I have learned that bears can climb aspen trees. And there's an aspen tree right here. It's called a quaking aspen. Had to ask about that. I do believe that a bear could get there, get onto the deck, and then come and get me. Now, that's only going to be a problem if the bears have grown a taste for margaritas. I don't feel like they have yet, but I may not be the only bartender around here that's throwing limes behind them, and I have learned my lesson, and I will never, ever give bears limes again, because the only logical thing that can happen from giving a bear a lime is that they learn to fall in love with margaritas. Okay. Oh, gotta block that out. There we go. Otherwise, you can't see my face. This is it. I've noticed I've noticed a lot of the drinks in Jackson that have huckleberry in them often have huckleberry sort of floating here at the bottom, and it's like a gradient. So I don't know if they're muddling their huckleberries or if they are not using a just gonna put the light here. I feel like I'm going. Um, I feel like maybe they're not using a syrup that is sort of coming together well enough. I do believe that that is what the pectin is doing in here. So don't always be afraid of things that aren't, super, like it's pectin. I don't know, pectin grow in nature. Is there a pectin tree somewhere? I don't know about a pectin tree. Don't always worry about that kind of stuff. If you want a really sort of uniformed looking cocktail, a little pectin, I don't believe has ever hurt anybody. Shawnee Panda Baker. Fun fact, a fun bear fact, when I was around 10, I had a black bear take a peanut out of my mouth. I will say that did fit the criteria. That is fun. It's a fun thing to know about Shawnee Panda Baker. It is also a fact. Now, I don't know where I can use that fact, but I will try and put that into a conversation at some point. I got a guy that I know, Sean P89 on Instagram. You'll love him. You should follow him. Once had a black bear take a, was it a black bear? Black bear take a peanut out of his mouth. Uh, what's the rhyme go? Isn't it brown lay down, black attack, white good night, something like that? Black bears second most dangerous of the bears. So my goodness, I wouldn't want that to happen a lot. Plus, if the bears get a taste for peanuts, the only thing that could happen there is, of course, the bears get a taste for pad thai. And now, every time you're in a Thai food restaurant, uh, turn around, there's a bear. The Wyoming Sidecar with Huckleberry. We're going to be bringing some Huckleberry back to the bar with us, so we'll be using some more Huckleberry. So if you really want to follow along with the show, you got to find your own Huckleberry, because I'm not telling you where I got it. That's Huckleberry tradition. Oh, that's really good. Yeah, actually, yeah. I'm sorry. I want to go back to this. That's really fun. That's not fun. It's terrifying. Yeah, my initial thought was it was part of some sort of like circus act. But now that I think about it, and Tom said that, were you walking around like eating peanuts and suddenly a black bear just like put his big old maw or his big old claw or his maw right in your mouth and stole a peanut out of it? Well, more questions than answers at this point we have. So, Sean, I think if at some point you'd like to tell us the rest of that story, I think that'd be great. If not, you can certainly keep that a secret. All right, we're losing light, so I am going to, I am gonna get back to drinking this. We will, oh, is it a small preserve in Pennsylvania? A bear preserve, I would hope, where they're training the bears? Or were you just making jam somewhere and a bear out of nowhere stuck, like you maybe you were making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich from all the preserves and a bear stole a peanut out of your mouth? Could be a lot of things, Sean. Again, more questions than answers. Um, we are done with our Wyoming series. I am back in lovely Los Angeles tomorrow. So we will be back doing shows. We're going to go back on Tuesday. We're going to be back here on Tuesday, which is actually, fun fact, my birthday eve. I think we're gonna do I always do a birthday show. Yeah, I'm 43 years old. You gotta celebrate your birthday. All 43-year-olds do. Um, I think we're gonna do a normal show Tuesday, a kind of normal show Thursday, and then we're gonna do the birthday show on Saturday. I don't know what the birthday show is gonna be yet, but trust me, I'm thinking about it. Oh, speaking of birthday, I want to thank my mom. My mom did get me my lovely bolo tie, so now I look like a respectable gentleman who can go on job interviews. I don't know what I will be interviewing for, but she said it would look good on job interviews. And then my little niece, who made the picture that's normally right here, made me a bottle holder that is also a tiki thing. So thank you, Archer. I love it so much. You will see this behind the bar. I won't see her again before my birthday, so she made me a very nice little birthday present. So thank you, Arch. And can I do this real quick? I want to say thank you to my whole family. It was a whole family reunion that was out here. So I want to say thank you to Susan and Larry. Obviously, I want to say thank you to Ryan and Dawn and Kendall and Addison. I want to say thank you to Nicole and Nate and Grayson and Mila. I want to say thank you to Kristen and Joey. I want to say thank you to Grant and Lisa, Alex and Amanda, and Archer and Avalon, and of course, how could I forget? Thank you so much for Motu Jen, who does take up part of her vacation time to moderate this show. I could not have done this without her. So if you have enjoyed any time that we have been out here in Wyoming, just know that Motu Jen, the producer of the show, has also been taking this time away from, finding huckleberries. I don't know what else you do out here. So thank you to my lovely wife and even lovelier producer. That, my friends, is what I have. Did I forget anybody's name? Somebody please come out and tell me if I forgot somebody's name. Until then, we're going to be back on Tuesday for Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks. Oh, congrats, Jen. Nailed it. Good. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for showing up to Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks Wyoming versions all week this week. If you can find yourself some Huckleberry, highly recommend. If you can't find yourself some Huckleberry, find yourself another type of a whiskey and or just make something else. There's lots of cocktails. Thank you guys so much for showing up. I still on this travel computer, I don't have the Patreon thing. So thank you to all my patrons, everybody that has supported the show. Thank you. We'll be back in normal place on Tuesday. Until then, what do we always say? I don't even have the option to do the soundboard. So we say things like, bye-bye.